everybody, to Food, Freedom, Confidence, episode 20. We are on episode 20. This is amazing. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Thanks for allowing me and Sierra to be a part of your day. I know we are busy and lives are full, and so it's easy to get distracted by other things. So we just want to say thank you for tuning in, even if you are watching the replay or you're watching live. Thank you for tuning in. So today's episode, and Sierra should be hopping on in just a second. Here she is. Let's get her on. I'm Hannah Hips, and this is Sierra Spencer, and we are the coaches, the guides of this group. So episode 20 is all about why you keep overeating and how to stop eating when you're full. Oh man, this is a challenging topic. And one thing that I want to say before we get started is stop eating when you're full. I'm going to add most of the time. It is like I say most of the time because this eating in general is not meant to be perfect. You're not going to get it right all the time, and it takes time and practice to get better at eating. Me and Sierra are trained in helping you learn how to eat again. Basically, that's what we do. We help you learn how to eat.
Yep.
And so I just wanted to say that. And so think about this. If you're watching, let us know from like a scale 1 to 5, how often do you feel like you overeat? How often do you feel like you can't stop eating when you're full? We would love to know. 1 being, oh, not a problem, to 5 being a big time problem where you feel like you're always overeating.
Right. Like, maybe it's every day or it's every meal, or I feel like a 5 would be like every meal I feel like I'm overeating. 3, 4 is like at least once a day or like a few times a week. And a 1 is like sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Katrina says 2, Liana 4. Thank you guys for sharing. And yeah, let us know. Katrina 5. Yeah, got that. Thank you for sharing. And that's why, we hope today we want to help you break down how you can start to find your hunger cues and your fullness cues, be able to listen to them, and learn to naturally stop eating when you feel full and satisfied. And like Hannah said, most of the time, because you know what? We're humans. And like, I know for me, like sometimes, like, especially like, I think of like, maybe I'm really full, but like birthday cake, but I like really want some, but I'm already full. Hey, Sarah, I'm going to eat some. And you know what? Sometimes I'm like, dang, I'm really full, but like, that was so good. And the difference is that I can eat, we teach our clients, and Hannah and I can eat past fullness, but there's no guilt or shame. And it really doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. And you know where that guilt and shame come from, or the I'm eating too much, or the fear of being too full? It all stems from our wonderful friend diet culture. Because it's so bad to actually feel fullness, because if you feel fullness, well shoot, you ate food and that's just a bad thing, right? It's so confusing. And so just wanted to put that out there that like nothing is wrong with you. You're not broken. The way that we're just having to like heal this part of ourselves and heal our hunger and fullness cues so that we can actually listen to our body and not judge ourselves for how much we're eating. Yeah. Or not eating, or whatever the case might be. So number 1, like guilt and shame have got to get out of your diet.
Yep. I love that. And we promise you it is possible to eat a comfortable amount of food and then stop most of the time. Like, it is absolutely possible. And that's what we teach in our programs. So maybe first things first, let's go over like what is a hunger cue, and what do hunger cues have to do with eating, and which one like leaves you feeling your best, right? Because we all feel like, I feel like if you think about it, even like if we're doing a scale, like a scale of 1 to 10, let's say, I think we all have this range of where we feel comfortable. right? Like, but also I want to say that with a total caveat. Sometimes I eat differently for how I want to feel. So if I had a really long, hard day and I feel like I missed lunch and I feel famished and like I just have had a crazy, crazy day, I might want to eat like a big, like warming meal, and I want to feel full. Like I want to feel full and grounded. Okay, now let's say I'm about to go on a hike with my friends and like it's going to be like I'm going for a hike and I want some like good high energy. I'm not going to eat like a giant bowl of like chili that's more grounding. That's just not going to feel good. So I'm going to eat something maybe a little bit lighter, some fruits, so a light sandwich, like something that's going to give me energy, and I'm going to feel content but not full. Right? So either one of those feelings is not bad. It just depends on how you want to feel. Sometimes I do want to feel full. Like, man, I like didn't eat lunch. Like I want to get full. And other times I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be full. Like I have to go to this dance class and I don't want like chili rolling around in my belly. Right? So I think like we need to know that there's different levels of fullness and there's not like one perfect level that you should be at. That's how we turn this into a hunger and fullness diet. Right? It's like there's some like perfect amount of fullness and hunger.
Yeah, so true. Such good stuff. So, Sierra, I know that you're really good about the science part. Do you want to talk about like the different hormones that are related to hunger and fullness so people understand? Like honestly, you guys, your body, its number one job is to survive and to stay alive. And so if it feels threatened in any way that it is not going to have enough energy, it's going to die, it's not being fed, it's going to act accordingly. And I know Sierra's so good with the science, and so I think it would be so valuable for you to go over like just the hormones and like what's happening and why it does that.
Yeah, so basically a hunger or a fullness cue is your body's message of saying like, hey, I need some energy, or hey, I've got enough energy. So basically it's your body's way of naturally regulating how much you eat in order to have the right amount of energy, i.e. food. Food is energy. So just like we can send messages to our friends and family by like texting them or calling them, our body has different ways of communicating from one organ system to another. And a lot of this messaging is done through hormones. So how much we feel hunger and fullness is coordinated by two different appetite hormones that our body produces. It's leptin and ghrelin. And if you want more information on this, the Health at Every Size book goes into way more detail about leptin and ghrelin. But we'll kind of briefly discuss those just so you have like a little bit of background knowledge. So leptin is the fullness hormone. So this is a hormone that's made by the fat cells of our body that sends us messages like, okay, I've had enough. Okay, I've had enough energy. So leptin levels are low when your body needs energy because leptin signals hunger. It tells you like, leptin's basically like, yo, I need to eat, I'm hungry. But on the flip side, leptin levels rise when you eat, meaning it's like, hey, I'm good. Like, I don't need any more. But interesting, like this is fascinating. Leptin also rises with the number of fat cells in your body. So leptin can be influenced by several things, including weight loss. So weight loss can actually decrease the amount of leptin in the body, which is probably why most people gain the weight back and their diets fail, because you start losing weight and leptin is like, whoa, I need to increase. Like, we are hungry. We are not eating enough. And that's why you feel uncontrollable around food and have to eat and eat and eat, because your hormones. This is why when we say you can't fight your own biology when it comes to diets, this is what we're talking about. Hormones and biological processes in your body that are meant to keep your body safe. So again, when you start to diet, your body notices, hey, I'm not getting enough, something's wrong. So your body tries to fix it by decreasing the amount of leptin, so which keeps you hungrier in order to encourage you to eat more. More food equals more energy. Again, your body doesn't know you're trying to like look good in your jeans, okay? if you've ever been in a diet and you realize you're getting like hungry and hungry and hungrier, it's not your lack of willpower. Your body is literally trying to save itself. Okay, so I'm not going to go into more details here about leptin, but I think you guys get the point that that is a very important hormone that works with our regulation and our hunger and fullness. So let's talk really quick about ghrelin. So ghrelin is the hunger hormone. So it's essentially opposite of everything we just talked about with leptin. And it's secreted from the stomach to tell your brain, hey, I need some food. And then ghrelin goes down as you eat food. Ghrelin's like, hey, I need you. I'm hungry. So basically when ghrelin is at its peak, this hormone, it says it's time to eat. And it's at its lowest level about an hour after a meal, right? Like, have you ever noticed, like, after you eat a meal, what you should feel is satisfied. You're not thinking about food anymore. You're moving on with your life. You eat something, you move on. You're not thinking about food anymore. Now, if that doesn't occur for you, it's probably because your leptin and ghrelin levels are off because of years of dieting or restricting or not listening to your body. But typically, normal people, when they eat a meal, an hour later, you should not be thinking about food still. So basically, how does your stomach know it's full, right? How does ghrelin production decrease? So signs of signals of fullness are like I said, you're not really paying attention to food, right? Like I'm thinking about my 3-year-old last night. We're eating dinner and my husband is trying to get her to eat more and she's playing. Like she is just not interested in food anymore. And at the time, another signal of fullness is that food no longer tastes good, right? You're like, I'm done. You know, like have you ever like the first bite of like a brownie and ice cream is so good. But then like after like the 12th bite, you're like, it's not as good, right? So that's normal. That means ghrelin is working. Another sign of fullness is you might get like a physical fullness in your stomach or distension, or you might feel like a boost of energy. You might feel more relaxed. You're in a better mood, right? Because if you were hangry, now when you feel full, you're in a better mood, okay? So those are some hormones. Those are some science for you. Like those hormones, ghrelin and
Leptin?
Leptin. Thank you. I was like, oh my gosh, ghrelin and leptin influence your body's ability to look at hunger and fullness in the body. Okay, I think that's for today.
Yeah, it's so fascinating because you know, we've been trying to manipulate our body and what we eat and how much we eat for a long time. A lot of you guys in this group, and Sierra and I did it too, that we totally lose track, we totally lose touch of what actually being full means and how much to eat. It's possible for you to be able to stop eating when you're full. It takes some practice, it takes some learning, and it takes some curiosity from your point. And this is why, like, you know, we talk about our empowered eating in our circle program a lot, because we teach you actually how to do this. We teach you how to listen to your body, how to get comfortable with eating again in a way that's going to support your health, and also for you to learn what's going to work for you, what's working for you, and to know that, like Sierra said, there's no perfect amount of food that you should be eating every time. You know, I think that one reason why diets fail so bad, because they expect you to be like, you can only have this much. Don't eat more, don't eat less, just this much. Mm-hmm. And our lives are multifaceted. Some days we are really busy. Some days we work out more. Some days we need more energy than other days. And so it's about tuning in more to what your needs are. And often we forget that. And a lot of people, when we talk to people and they're starting to work with us, we work with people's like emotional self-care. That is a huge #1 part that is going to help you be able to tune back into your body. If you are not having emotional self-care, of like really tuning in of like how you're feeling emotionally, and like what Sierra says, like she eats to how she wants to feel. Like if we're not taking care of ourselves on that level, It's going to be really hard to be able to listen to our body and to be able to stop. Because think about this, you had a long day and emotionally exhausted and tired. You are not going to be able to like think clearly and make good decisions if
Yeah.
you're depleted. The whole point is like if you come from a place of feeling energized and good, you're going to be able to make better choices. We often hear like, why can't I make healthy choices? Well, we got to look into your emotional state, your self-care. How are you caring for yourself? What does your day look like? What are you doing? Where are you missing meals? All of that has a play within it. And that's what we do in our inner circle. And, you know, the doors are open for inner circle for a couple more days. Just wanted to throw that out there. And we have such an amazing group of women in there right now. We are so excited to start working with them. If you are interested in taking the steps and learning step by step how to have a better relationship with food, how to listen to your fullness and hunger cues, and learn how to eat, like what the heck, when, what, and how. We have a framework that can help you with that every step of the way, plus a community that is doing it with you. So if you are interested in learning more about it, let us know in the comments and say, me, inner circle, I want help, whatever you want to say. Do you want to add anything to that note? If this was helpful, let us know too. Like, did you get some good information today to help you start thinking about, oh my God, my body's just doing what it needs to do.
Yeah.
It's not willpower.
Yeah, it's not willpower. And so here's like, just to kind of wrap this up, there is so much more. We could go into so much more about this hunger fullness, and we do in our programs. And I know this is just the tip of the iceberg here, but I want to give you a couple little tips. Like we talked about like this hunger scale, like on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Like kind of knowing like where you're at on that hunger scale before you eat can help. Another tip is this is probably our number one tip for everybody, is to slow down and take some, it's like mindful eating, but I don't really like mindful eating. I feel like it can turn into like a diet really quickly mindset. So like mindful eating, but meaning like take some deep breaths, slow down. Like, are you actually enjoying what you're eating? Like take note of your emotions during the meal. How are you feeling? Like, how's your satisfaction? There's a difference between satisfaction and fullness. If I eat a whole head of broccoli, I would be full, but I would not be satisfied. Right? So there's more that goes into hunger and fullness besides just being full. You want to be satisfied. So those are two little tips to kind of be thinking about as you're going through this process of like, what is my hunger and fullness? And like Hannah said, like if you want more help around hunger and fullness, or you feel like, you know, you're tired of like always feeling guilty and shame, we have a few spots left. Like spots are filling up this week pretty fast. We do have a few spots left in our Empowered Eating Inner Circle, and we'd love to invite you to learn more about that. So just comment below, me, or I'm interested, or if you're nervous to do that, just send us a private message on Facebook, and we can talk with you about how the Empowered Eating Inner Circle could help you, or even just guide you into the next steps for you and give you some resources, if anything. So thanks so much for tuning in live and for watching the replay, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye.